What is up? This is your boy Anecdotal, and today you are joining me on the road to getting Minnerva to 6 stars by playing the first 15 stages of Shadowland, which to me are the most important stages of Shadowland because of stage 5, 10, and 15, because that's where we get our bios. Respectively, we get 60 at 5, 75 at stage 10, and a whopping 90 at stage 15. So I was lucky enough to clear this in just a few hours before, just when that update hit. So now with that, I can go ahead, combine all of them, and hopefully 6-star Minn-Erva at the end of this. So we're gonna start it off doing this as quickly as possible with the Punisher, with his uniform. And you already know, man, Punisher was one of those characters that was quickly soon forgotten, but his uniform, the one that you are seeing right now on the screen, completely changed it. Don't pay attention to that web, because his 6 skill is pretty sweet. It is just a complete iframe along with the 3 skill where he smoothly just walks around taking shots at his enemies, and then he goes crazy with the tackling. So really, this uniform, if you already have a built-up Punisher, would be something that's pretty good to have, but I say probably best to use him for easy solo missions, probably from stages 10 and below, but he can definitely clear a little higher than that. So here we have to use blast characters since it has a reflection for physical damage. We gotta chill with all that physical damage and stick with energy. I think for the player base, especially for newer players who aren't sure who does energy and who does physical, it'd be a lot better if there was a tab, and if that tab showed you all the information on these are the energy characters and these are the physical characters. I think it would just be a lot better for newer players. Also, there are characters that have mixed damage, so for those, maybe there could be something that just says mixed, but that definitely could be difficult to do. I'm not sure what you can do about it, but definitely pure energy, pure physical would be good. Here, Rocket had some physical and Whiplash did, but this was easy enough to solo with my boy Wiccan. Okay, on to stage 3. We can go straight speed here. It doesn't matter if it's physical or if it's energy, just have a strong enough person to use. Now, like I said, my problem here is usually that I just use way too underpowered heroes in the beginning and then save all of my most OP heroes to the end, and I end up having way too many strong heroes left over. So I thought if I went ahead and I recorded, I would try to make this video finish as quickly as possible to finish the first 15 stages, and I thought, why not use X23? X23 took me forever to obtain through the shield lab, so I'm glad to have her at T2 and then just putting some crazy work in. Obviously, if you have her, you can go ahead and use her at a later stage, but even at T1 she'd be able to do stages like 3, 4, 5, and even up to 10. She is pretty good. So if you don't really recognize who this person is and you think it's Ultron, think again. This is your one and only Giant Man with the uniform, the Ultron or Pimptron uniform, which looks just crazy. It is hard to find this guy on the character list, but look at that. Does that spin look familiar to you? Does this laser look familiar to you? On my other video with Minnerva, I did compare that skill with her 5th skill when she turns into a flying demon and does the ray. So easy clear with this. We have summons with the 4th skill and you do a little dash. So honestly, Giant Man was nowhere near the meta, still really isn't near the meta, but he is very usable, especially for Shadowland. Don't try anything crazy trying to take him to World Boss, but he is a really fun character to play with, just an absolutely variety-filled set for skills. So, I mean, it's just really fun to play with him. So, check it out. If you have the crystals to buy your uniform and you don't already have a lot of meta uniforms, check this one out. It's just really fun to use them. Honestly, I really do think that there should be a mode where you can just play particular characters and use their uniforms and get something out of it. Like, not just a preview. Like, you actually get to use them. Not something limited to Legendary Battle, but just all the way, so that you could experience all these characters and you have a more clear opportunity to things you want to get, at least uniform wise. Alright, here it was kind of toss up. I didn't know if I wanted to use Iron Man. I didn't want to know if I wanted to use Black Widow. I didn't get the new Black Widow uniform, which is amazing. It really looks great, but I just didn't have the crystals to get that because I'm still saving for Invisible Woman. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead, use her. She used to be the meta for Speed Day, so I already have quite a lot invested in her, so I knew that this would be an absolutely easy clear. First 5 stages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 and done. Easy. 60 biometrics right there, trying to use characters that I think will clear pretty fast, but not so much that I can get in trouble. The funny thing is I have way more than 30 T2 or even or strong characters that I need to get to the end, but I'm always so paranoid about not having the right characters at the end. So here Domino is just amazing. This is something I thought of that would have been something like Black Widow when she first came out. She is spinning everywhere and she just has so many great moves. And the whole moving around thing, remember if you saw the movie, her power was luck, and it's like, how can we connotate luck? It's just her moving around, dodging everything with iframes and not being hurt, which I think is amazing. So they did a really great job with Domino. Domino is straight killing the game here. Really great character. If you can farm Domino and you have that unlocked, definitely farm her. She will get you pretty much anywhere you want to go. She's a really good character. Here, I'm going to take the risk and use Yondu, even though there's energy reflect, because it's during an iframe. If you are using energy damage while you're on iframe, you're okay, but if you're not, you can get in trouble. So I'm trying to make sure I'm iframing, and if there is a mistake, I'll just clean everything up with Daredevil anyways. He's a fun character to use at low levels, so that's fine. So there you saw I got absolutely wrecked, but the only person left is Wasp. Wasp can be a bit annoying, but when it's just Wasp, it's pretty easy to solo. Also, Squirrel Girl, back when I had her at T1, was someone I used all the time to clear early stages because she had a lot of iframes and has that squirrel that just kind of aggroes. If you're not sure what aggro means, it just means that the enemy will attack the squirrel instead of you. That way you'll be 100% fine, and then she has quite a few iframes to use. Alright, so we're at stage 8 using universals. So why not go ahead and use Captain Marvel? I know I didn't get the uniform yet, but I will. As you can see up top, I have 6,000 crystals, but as I said before, I'm saving it so I can get Invisible Woman, and I made sure not to spend anything until this update, because I thought that this update will have a lot to bring, and it does. So I'm definitely going to get the Minnerva uniform, and yeah, I'm definitely going to get the Captain Marvel uniform. So this is what she looks like, guys. Her skills go way off cooldown, but the crazy thing about her regular attack, which you can say this for her and one other character, who was it? Oh, Songbird. Her and Songbird have pretty crazy basic attacks. You just end up just punching and stunning whatever character you're fighting if it's one-on-one here. So as you can see, he can't do anything when I'm punching. He just forever stun locked with regular basic attacks, which I think is hilarious. You can do the same thing with Songbird. It really is to the point where if Songbird did get a uniform, who knows how it'd go, but her basic attack is so quick with her attack speed as well. Like, you'll just keep getting hit with it. You stun and use her basic. That is her skill rotation. No one else really has a skill rotation like that, where I guess it's kind of like Cable's 5th skill or Cyclops' 5th skill, or anyone that has a skill that just keeps on going, a continuous sort of V-pad skill. That's what Songbird was, just her basic. So if you can farm her, you should definitely go do that under special missions for Songbird. It's crazy to see it, and if you have stages where you want to destroy combat types, Songbird's your person. So here's Mordo, also someone you could just farm in the Doctor Strange mission, is really cool. He's one of the few characters that he's actually better without a uniform. So his strength is great without a uniform as a blast type. When he gets his uniform, he becomes speed, and it is not worth it. It's one of those times where uniforms just don't do anything. It really doesn't help. It sounds like it's a pretty good uniform, but it's not. And then look how cool it is, man. He's all types of sorceries right now. Right, sorcery all over the place. So this guy's really good. He has quite a few stunts and pushes and like pull-ins, and then huge AoE there. So you really just don't want to mess with Mortal, man. I am not being careful with him at all. I'm just trying to like flash skills everywhere. But right now, I'm going to make sure to keep using this skill right here, his second skill, to string everybody along, float around with his third skill, and try to be more careful using his one. Now, his one is just a cool flashy skill where he like shoots little energy blasts. Alright, I'm thinking DBZ when I use it. So, definitely use that with caution, but definitely if you kind of skip that skill and rotate around it, you'll find a lot more success. But you know, it's all about having fun while playing these characters. At least it is for me when you're in these early first 15 stages where you don't really have to worry too much. This guy right here, War Machine, this uniform is easily, and I'm almost scared to see what kind of uniform, if he gets a uniform for endgame, because this uniform is sick. He has gone through quite a few uniforms. When his first uniform came out that just combined all of his skills, man, it was crazy. So here he has all types of missiles, all type of iframes. Honestly, I prefer War Machine over Iron Man when it comes to uniforms. This guy's just all around sick, and that makes 10 stages right there. Iron Man is free to play. You can get him on story mode. You can farm him super easily. So all you gotta do for War Machine, get that uniform, and you will have a beast that does some crazy physical damage as a blast type. Alright, here we're looking at real old metas. So She-Hulk is still a meta for her crazy lead. Bam, showing off the taxi. And then Silk. Silk used to be amazing as a speed type. Look at all of the webbing, crazy crowd control, and just she has a shield on 3. And that's just it. It's a wrap. So let me just go ahead, get this rotation down so I can get them both trapped into my web at the same time. Then I could jump and flip. And the problem with her, or the reason why she's not super OP in PvP, is because if she takes the hits, it's over. There's all types of debuff leaderships or passives that can be spread. So webbing doesn't have the huge overpowering presence that it used to have. That's kind of why Spider-Man used to be amazing and Silk used to be amazing, but not so much now, because she's lacking in quite a few iframes. But that fifth skill, man, I mean that fourth skill is where she gets all of her attack. Fifth skill, kind of slow. It really is, which is why you need the extra webbing on the 2 skill. But yeah, man, Silk used to be amazing, but as you can see, damage is an issue. She's all about crowd control. But let's show off someone that is not. Someone that has crazy power, and that's Gwenpool. Gwenpool, man, if I just switched to her earlier, you would have saw some crazy stuff. But you know what? Sometimes you just enjoy webbing people up in Shadowland. But we don't have too much time, so let's go ahead and bring in some heavy hitters here for Loki. Let's go with an old meta, man. Let's go with Iron Fist with the Netflix series uniform, which is something that really evolved the character. Remember, this used to be ABX, alright? Iron Fist used to be all about ABX, and this uniform also a complete game changer. He used to be one of the only characters, along with, who was it? Warwolf, I believe, that we passed the buff to. So yeah, this was one of the only ways to be world boss. Not world boss ultimate, regular world boss. So just know, Iron Man has been through some stuff, and I'm sure he'll find some sort of revival if another TV series is picked up with Iron Fist. I know it didn't go super well for him, but I really did enjoy the last season for Iron Fist, and I really enjoyed the Luke Cage series. So I mean, Luke Cage series way over Iron Man in my book, but just seeing them have like that kind of buddy cup vibe thing was really fun to see, with him being super chill and super, what's that called? Tranquil? It's another word for it. Finding his inner peace. If you know the word, let me know. But man, it really brings back memories playing with these characters. And honestly, Shadowland, this is why I like this game mode, because you can just revisit all these characters that you just put so much resources into, and then bam, doesn't really work for something like World Boss Ultimate. So let's stick to the old metas and go to Loki. Now, Ghost, I was lucky enough to get through a premium chest. I know, hate me if you want, but without the T2, I really don't know how great he is, other than for his leadership. But here, Loki, man, know this. Once Marvel Future Fight had a name change, at least for the community, and it was called Marvel Loki Fight. That's right, guys. MFF was actually for Loki, because when he got his female uniform, he was all types of dominant, super strong. Also one of the only clears for World Boss that most people could manage. So it was just like him. Iron Fist was much harder of a clear, and then when Sharon Rogers came in, it was like destroying everything. But dude, the OG Loki, I really hope that nothing happened to him and he's still okay for Endgame, and that we get a huge revival of Loki. Crossing my fingers, man. I really hope so. Don't let me down, Endgame. Don't let me down. So Star-Lord, same thing. You'll see him at Endgame. And this skill, when this skill first came out, there was like some sort of event where you had to press buttons to do some sort of a song thing, which was really cool for the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I believe. But yeah, for me, I was kind of weirded out, and then sort of like, cool, let's see what this is about. But yeah, man, Star-Lord, awesome leadership to have and really cool character to play with. So let's go to the king of uniforms, changing absolutely everything for the character, Winter Soldier, where his uniform set a precedence to what amazing uniforms could actually be within this game. And let me tell you, Winter Soldier, all he had was the uniform where he was basically Captain America, and he had like a summon, and there was like some trick, I don't remember what it was, to play him. And it was basically where he kept having that shock damage, and people were doing like pretty crazy scores with him, but it just wasn't enough. Now, forget all that. Forget the gimmick. He's just straight powerful. So you do not want to mess with him, man. That 5 to 4 skill, and when you try to proc all of that into that one skill, is amazing. He has fear, where, man, some people were taken by surprise. I know I was. When I saw him on timeline, and I was feared, man, it was the worst. But when you're the one doing the fearing, let me tell you something bad. Let me tell you, these are one of the best story mode characters there are in the game. Don't mess with Winter Soldier. Just don't. Pre-uniform, mess with him all you want. You can do whatever. But post-uniform, oh man, you don't wanna. You don't buy the wrong uniform. Make sure to buy this one, all right? I know I talked about the shock damage one, but forget that. But all 15 are done, ending it with my man, Winter Soldier, 90, 75, 60 biometrics, and we are on our way to get Minn-Erva all the way up to 6 stars. So I can't wait. I'm gonna buy her uniform. We're gonna see a video on Minn-Erva, so stay tuned to the channel and make sure to catch all of the craziness that occurs with Minn-Erva and all that she can do in whatever game modes that she can do. So I definitely want to try my hand on playing her as a T2 without her uniform, and then of course doing it with her uniform. So as always, this has been your boy Anecdotal, and if you liked this video, make sure to like it, share it with anybody from the Marvel Future Fight community, and of course don't forget to make yourself known and comment down below. Peace.